And when I say bring God with you, or I bring God with me, I mean the awareness of God. That's all it is. It's the awareness of God, that God exists, God is real, and God is here now. It's connecting with that infinite invisible that is here with us now. So if we think about it, like quantum physics talks about how things can exist in multiple positions until it's observed. So our awareness, our observation, our awareness, our consciousness is much more powerful than we know. I think it's quantum physics. They talked about, I forget if it was Levy, Paul Levy, I think, talks about it in 5 words. Don't look, wave, look, particle. So our awareness of things affects things. This is why we can be in the world and totally of the world and totally unaware that God exists and God is real, and then we won't bring any of that with us. So when I say bring God with, I just mean the awareness. It's simply the awareness that God is real, God is here, and God is now. And God is not in our stories. Like, that's why we wrestle with these stories in our mind. Like, God, that's not where God is. God is not in our past. God is not in the future. God is here. So we have to be aware now of it. Like, let's not make it a concept in our mind. Let's make it real. You know how I always talk about being in the vertical realm, bringing the vertical realm with you, staying in the transcendent dimension, like connecting with something that is not of this world, being in this world, but not of this world. And I call that being vertical, staying vertical. The vertical only intersects with the horizontal in the present moment. And the present moment is where all of this is. This is where you can connect with God, to your angels, to divinity. So I have to say, in the past couple of days, I have been very horizontal. I have been very horizontal, not vertical. And I'm thinking about, like, what are the things that get me horizontal? And by horizontal, I mean I'm in the world and of the world. You know, our goal is to be in the world, but not of the world. When we're in that realm, when we take God with us, we take everything a little bit less seriously. Like, we're not connected to, I was talking to a client about this yesterday too. It's like, you are bigger. You are bigger. You're so much bigger than your problems. Your problems are like little ants. Like, sometimes that can even help. I had a client once think of a person she was having major problems with. Think of this person as an ant. Like, not an ant that you're going to smash or anything, but just that it's small. Like, we are huge. Our problems are small. Anything here, the good and the bad in the 3D realm is small compared to what we are, who we are. Well, I say that, but like I said, I've been very vertical in the past, or very horizontal the past couple of days. I've been like in the world, and also of the world. Eckhart Tolle would call this like a hybrid. I'm a hybrid creature. Like, I do know who I am, but I forget and I get caught up in the 3D, and then it becomes very real, and I'm trying to control things in the 3D instead of going within and trying to change things within myself, trying to change how I'm feeling, how I'm seeing things, right? So the thing that got me in the horizontal this past couple of days was insurance. Dealing with insurance. I was trying to find a new insurance plan, and because my husband, it's a long story, but it doesn't matter. I was trying to find a new insurance plan, and it was like the Wild West. I was getting scammed. I know about insurance, and I was still getting scammed. I still have like hundreds of people calling me, trying to sell me insurance, and then calling things insurance that aren't really insurance. I mean, it was just, and then I started getting, I stayed very calm at first. You know, I could see peace instead of this. I can see peace instead of this. I know that I am not of this world. It's insurance. Who cares? I mean, I still want insurance. Like, even though I am not of this world, like, I still do the things in this 3D world that make me safe, right? So I still want insurance. I still want to eat healthy. Like, yes. So, but I don't need to be so connected to it. It doesn't need to affect me so much. So, like, leaning into the verse. So yes, this is the test, I guess. Finding insurance really got me in the 3D world, and it made me feel like I was of the world. It made me afraid. I started thinking, like, I got this one insurance that this guy talked me into something, and it was like I wasn't covered if an emergency was to happen, which that's insurance, right? So like trusting myself to make the right decision and also not getting scammed was difficult. was difficult. I was just talking to my chiropractor. I was telling her about this, and she was saying how for her what does it is talking to her phone carrier. You know, it's these phone calls that we have to make, talking to people when it's like it's hard to understand all of it, right? It's hard to understand everything that's going on, what we're being billed for, what we're being charged for when it comes to insurance or phone. So these are the things, and my chiropractor's language for it, like I talk about staying in the vertical realm, staying with God, connecting with the infinite invisible, knowing you are in the world, but you are not of the world, you know, and when you're in that place, you make the right decisions. You trust yourself to make the best decisions, and you give it up to God. There is no way you can think about all the possibilities that will happen in the future. This is what was happening with me when I was considering our insurance. I was like, okay, well, this seems okay, but what if I get cancer? What if I get some horrible disease? What if my husband gets a heart attack? Of course I want to be covered for these things, but I don't need to enter the realm of them actually happening, like feeling like panic, you know? My chiropractor, her words for it, like I said, my word is staying in the vertical realm, knowing that you're in the world, not of the world, bringing God with you. Her words for it is putting on the brakes or putting on the gas. You know, there's a lot of ways to talk about getting into the vertical realm, you know, mindfulness, present moment awareness, being connected with the infinite invisible, being in timelessness, like all that are ways of describing it. Like physically, the way the chiropractor describes it is, or I guess something that it's not necessarily being in the vertical realm, but it's allowing yourself to be there physically, is your parasympathetic nervous system being activated. So she talks about turning on the gas and turning on the brakes, you know, and when I go to see her and she presses on buttons that help me to turn on the brakes, which means I can connect with the vertical again. The gas means my sympathetic nervous system is activated. I'm stressed, right? I feel like I'm in danger when I'm not. Like, come on. Dealing with insurance, I'm not in danger. Like, there was no danger there, but it felt like I was. It felt like I was being chased by a tiger and running away from scammers online in the wilderness. That's how it felt. Anyway, so I'm getting back in the vertical. I just wanted to kind of check in and talk about this. My goal this year is to make 2 YouTube videos every week, so I am doing it no matter what. This is happening, people. And yeah, let's stay in the vertical realm. Let's bring God with us. We are in the world, but not of the world. We can do things like insurance, call phone carriers. We can do these things, but we take the peace with us. We take the peace with us. It's like, A Course in Miracles talks about the things that happen in our lives. It is important to us. It's important to us, and that's okay. It's just like a relative importance. Like insurance ultimately is not important, but there's a relative importance to things in this world, right? In the 3D world. It's not that we ignore it, or we do want to go in it, but know that we're not of it. And sometimes that can be hard to understand, I think. Anyway. Okay, well, I hope this was helpful. I never introduced myself today. My name is Elizabeth Cermak. I am a therapist and a coach here to talk about inner peace, being in the world but not of the world. And, you know, sometimes we go back and forth. Sometimes something happens. I really handled my heater very well this year. Remember, my nervous system didn't get activated when my heat went out on like the coldest day of the year. I stayed very calm. With the insurance thing, I don't know, it didn't. I wasn't as calm. I became of the world, and that's okay. Like, we realize it, and then we come back. We come back to who we know we are. We are so much bigger than anything, any issues, any problems. Only the love remains. We're bigger than anything, good or bad. Here, we're bigger than this. Our problems are small compared to who we really are. We just forget. And I do think like there is some truth to this idea that in order to take this world seriously, we kind of have to forget who we are sometimes, because otherwise it won't seem real. So it got real for me yesterday, but the insurance we got it taken care of, and I think we're in a good place now for it. And yeah, I'm back in the vertical. Hopefully doing this video helped me get there even more. Yoga, chiropractor was very helpful. Trying to eat healthy, that's helpful too. Doing all the things to keep myself connected, bringing God with me. I went and saw my mom last week, and I brought God with me. Like, I just read that Practicing the Presence, and it was really good. It was really good. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. If you want more things about inner peace, go ahead and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon, twice a week this whole year. I haven't said that out loud yet. Twice a week this whole year I'm doing it. Real quick, I know I was driving for part of this video and the background noise gets super loud. I didn't realize how loud it was, so thank you for being patient with me. I'm probably still gonna post this because of my goal of 2 videos a week this year. But from now on, I won't drive while I'm talking. I'm still trying to figure out like what works best for me and the best way to do this and how to connect with people. I want to connect to people on here who are like me, looking for more inner peace in their lives and looking to actually embody all the spiritual stuff. Like, let's be spiritual finders instead of spiritual seekers.